Good morning, guys. Happy coffee talk. I started coffee talk twice already. That never happens to me. But my boys unplugged my camera and I didn't know, so it didn't have any charge. So I had to restart twice, despite getting up at like 6 a.m. to record coffee talk today. My coffee today, I am drinking out of this awesome mug that looks like a Washington skyline, and I'm drinking that Valhalla coffee. So good. Before we dive into the coffee talk message today, I do want to remind you about the free January reset. So I'm doing this as a way to get back on track after the holidays. I mean, the holidays weren't like a total crazy show, but there was definitely more sweets and treats than I'm normally accustomed to having. Plus with travel and all of the things, it just hasn't been, I just don't feel like my best self, and I want to feel like my best self. And so the reset is something I wrote a couple of years ago to help get back on track after a season like the holidays. And so we're doing it for free in the Fit Me Community Facebook group. You get a tracker, you get Q&As, you get support documents, you get a whole bunch of stuff, and you get some momentum because you're going to do like a fun game with people to get back on track. And it's a positive game. It's one that actually is going to help your body, not give you some sort of rebound effect after, right? Like if you do some sort of crazy cleanse, well, after that, you've got to pay for it. You got to pay the piper. This is the exact opposite. This is something that's actually going to build momentum. So I'll put the link in the comments and the link in the show notes. And if you want to join me, and I think we have like 160 people doing it. So jump in and do it with us. You can join all month. You have to commit to a minimum of 7 days, but you can do the entire month. And then you actually get to pick from the tracker the things that you're committed to. So there's about 10 options on there, and you just pick the best ones for you. You start with at least 3, but then if that's all you want to do, that's all you want to do. It's the ones that you commit to that really matter. So join us for the reset. I'll put the links in all the places, and hopefully you'll be doing it too. And if you do, be sure to tag me in your trackers. So I want to talk about yesterday I've been talking a little bit about resolutions, right? Big goals. I told you about my hike. And then yesterday I was telling you about the follow through with not just the commitment, but the knowing that there's going to be challenges. Are you committed to dealing with the challenges for your goal? And now I want to talk about change, because again, like in the theme of New Year's resolutions, this very first week of 2023, I want to talk about the nonsense that we tell ourselves, to be honest, because we tell ourselves often that we want something to change. So maybe you want your weight to change. Maybe you want your strength to change. Maybe you want how your energy feels to change. Maybe you want your knee pain to change. You might have a whole bunch of things that you want to change. But when it actually comes down to it, in order for those things to change, something else has to change. And this is the part that we pretend doesn't exist. And that's what I wanted to talk about on today's episode, is when we actually want change, we have to change something. We have to change something. So for example, like let me give you an idea. If you sit at your desk all day, you have a certain kind of posture, right? Your hands might be a little bit forward. They might like feel like a stretch when you lean them back because they're so used to being forward on the typewriter or whatever, not typewriter, but you know what I'm saying, keyboard. And maybe your shoulders are a little bit curled forward and you've got text neck because you lean forward all the time. So you want that to change. Maybe you look in the mirror one day and you realize, oh my God, I'm getting like that, that old lady back neck hump, and my posture sucks. My shoulders don't feel good. And like, I definitely know my wrists need to be stretched out. So I need a change, right? So you're thinking to yourself, I need a change. So you decide that you're going to stretch your wrist out for a couple minutes every day, and you're going to stand with your head against the wall and do some neck exercises. And you're like, I did it. I did my 10 minutes a day of neck exercises and wrist stretches. I'm ready to see the change. But here's what happens. Nothing. I mean, it might feel good while you're doing it, but what did not change was you sitting at your desk all day. The thing that caused the neck, to be curled forward, or the shoulders to be rounded, or the wrists to be tight did not change. You wanted to change the way that your body felt. And so you tried to address it. And so you targeted those things with a little stretch, with a little here and there, and then we should be good to go. But the root of what caused it did not change. Nothing in your life actually changed. You wanted to shortcut it. Let's be real. Let's talk about what it is. Like, we all want to do it. It's not just you, it's me too, it's everybody. We want a shortcut. I don't want to actually change anything. I just want the change, right? I don't actually want to change anything about what I'm doing. I just want to see the result. And that's a perfect example where we're like, I'm not actually going to change what I'm doing all day, every day. I'm going to still sit at my desk and I'm still going to do my keyboard, and I'm still going to lean forward, and I'm still going to have text neck and all of that. And then I'm going to try to strategically change it, and I'm going to complain about it because I want to see this change, but I'm not going to actually change anything. And so really what would actually have to change in order to have your body feel better would be that you need to change your work setup. You might need to get a standing desk. You might need to raise your computer up higher so that you're looking differently. You might have to set a timer for little breaks so that you give yourself throughout the day so that you get up and you go walk around. You might have to get yourself a headset so that you can actually do calls on your feet, and maybe you go outside and you look up as you walk so you're doing calls that way. Those are things that actually would lead to the change that you want, but you would actually have to change something. You might have to invest in a new desk. You might have to set up a treadmill. You might have to wear real shoes when you work. You might have to put on a jacket and go outside. Like, those are things that are a part of changing what you have to change in order to see the result that you want. And so I feel like this example is really clear, because maybe this one isn't the one that you want to change. I mean, we probably all need to like adjust our posture a little bit and be better. But probably what you want to change is maybe your body weight. Maybe what you want to change is your energy level. Maybe what you want to change is you want to feel stronger. Maybe what you want to change is your eating habits, right? You know that they're not good. Maybe what you want to change is your relationship with food. You're like, I want to see that change, AKA like the better posture. But what do I need to do to make that happen? Well, could I just eat that thing? Could I take that supplement? Could I do that one specific workout? Could I do, whatever, but not address the source of how you got to that place in the first place, right? And if you address that and you start to change those things, you make fundamental changes to how you're living, then you are going to achieve a long-term and lasting result, AKA change. How did you change your diet? How did you change your nutrition? You eat so well. You got to go to the source. You got to eat differently every day. It can't just be like one day you buy a salad out at a restaurant. It's not doing anything. It's not going to change your body weight. You actually have to change what you consume every day. And that's the part that's hard. And so yesterday when we were talking about, okay, you're going to face challenges, you're also just going to face your own bull crap, because you're not going to want to change your routines, because humans like to have consistent routines. And so if you normally wake up and eat nothing and have coffee full with sugar and creamer, and you walk out the door and you blast through your workday, that is your routine. So it would be quite different for you to wake up, have a glass of water, have coffee that's not full of sugar, go ahead and make yourself a protein-rich breakfast, eat it, and then leave the house. What that would require would be maybe you wake up early. Maybe that would require you having something in the house that looks like a protein-rich breakfast. Maybe that would require a couple of weeks of effort to step down from your sugar coffee. All of those things are their own changes. And you see why this takes a little while? See why healthy lifestyle changes can, need a minute? You're not going to fix it in one day, because we're just talking about breakfast. But if you made the meaningful change, like if you went from, again, skipping breakfast, drinking a bunch of sugar and blasting out the door, to instead drinking water, having less sugar for breakfast, and having a high protein, filling, satisfying breakfast, that shift is a change that will result in a healthier body weight. It will result in potentially you getting stronger because you're nourishing your body better. It will result in a whole bunch of really positive outcomes. But you had to change something. You couldn't just cheat sheet your way there, right? If you've been doing the same workouts, you've been going to the same class for years, and you're telling me now you want to get stronger, but you're going to keep going to the same class and doing the same thing and not actually change anything, then nothing is going to change. You can do that one little workout, at the beginning. You can do that. So like, for example, like, oh, I need to get better, blah, blah, blah. So I'm just going to do this like 5 minutes before class. I'm not saying that that's terrible. I'm just saying that if you're doing the same old workouts over and over again, or you're going to the same type of classes over and over again, you're probably not going to see a big change. You might need to add in an entirely different supplement of workouts. Maybe you need to do strength training. Maybe you've been doing boot camp and CrossFit for a long time. P.S. I love those, so I'm not saying don't do it, but you've spent 0 time working on building muscle. Maybe in order to build muscle to get stronger, you're going to actually have to change something. Maybe you don't get to go to CrossFit 5 days a week. Maybe you only go 3 days a week and you spend 2 days doing specific strength training because you want to get stronger. So you've actually changed something. You don't want to do that because your brain is in the routine of I go to CrossFit 5 days a week or I go to my boot camp class. So in order for me to change something, I would actually have to not do that. And I don't want to not do that. I want to keep doing the same thing I'm doing, but I want to see a different result. It just doesn't work that way. It doesn't work. And so what I'm asking you to do today is to think about, okay, you've told me that you have this result that you want. You want to see this change. You have this goal. I asked you on Monday, what is your big goal? And, we talked about what are the challenges that are going to get away of your big goal? Are you committed to dealing with those yesterday? But now what I'm asking you to do is, are you actually committed to changing anything? Are you willing to change something in order to see the result that you want? Because you have to be. In order to see the results be different, you have to do something different, right? That's like I don't know, I feel like it's like a motivational phrase. Like you just keep doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. The flip side of it is if you want to see a different result, you have to do something differently. You can't just keep doing the same thing you've been doing. Ew, Rocky just slobber monstered me on my clean shirt. So you know the result that you want. And now what I want you to do is ask yourself, one, and this is how you can figure out what you need to change. How did you get to the place that you don't want to be? Right? How did you get there? It's not a secret. You should be able to figure that out. How did you get there? Do you skip meals? Do you eat a bunch of nonsense? Are you eating Pringles chips all day and sweet treats from somebody else's desk? Are you drinking at night? Are you overtraining, going to the gym too many times so your body's hurting? Are you sitting all day? Like, what is it? How did you get to the place that you don't want to be? Identify that. And then now you actually have a focus. This is what I need to focus on. What can I change about this? And not just change it for today, but change it for forever. What can I change about the things that I do every single day that will lead to a different result? What can I change about my desk situation? What can I change about my workout situation? What can I change about my breakfast situation? What can I change about my sleep situation? What can I change about my relationship situation where I'm talking a certain way, like with somebody, and it's creating this result that I don't want, but we keep going and doing that every day? What can I change about that? Because if you want a different result, you're going to have to change the root of what created the outcome you don't want. And then now we're going to create the outcome that you do want. So what's really cool in Fit Me is one of the things we do with everyone when you start with Fit Me is we have you do an assessment. And the assessment isn't just like, oh, how much do you weigh? And like, what's, how strong are you? I mean, like those are cool. We do that too. But what we really assess is what you do every day, because you're in some place you don't want to be. Usually when I do a consult call with someone, they're telling me I'm not happy where I'm at right now. I want to see something be different. And so what I do is instead of saying, let's just wing it, let's make it different, we actually assess what you're doing every day. And so we look at that and say, okay, well, how confident are you at knowing what to eat for breakfast? Well, how consistently do you eat that healthy breakfast? Okay, so now I know what you're doing every day and I can see what we need to change in order to create the result that you want. And then we use coaching. So you get a Fit Me coach to actually help you make those changes. So, okay, what should I eat for breakfast? All right, let's figure that out. Okay, when can I get it set up? Okay, let's figure that out. Like, what do I need to do to actually eat it? Okay, let's figure that out. And now I've done it and I'm doing it consistently and I'm building momentum, and your coach can see that, and we help you make those fundamental changes to what you're doing every day, which is why it's so effective. And I think for you, as you're listening to this, I just want you to take the takeaway is nothing's going to change if you don't change anything. And so go ahead and look at what created the thing that you don't want and start there. And again, it doesn't have to be epic, right? Like when we're talking about, okay, like if we'll go back to the posture to wrap up this episode. So it's not quit your job. I mean, it could be, but like, it's not quit your job. It's get a standing desk. This isn't impossible. This isn't something that you can't do. You can do it. And then you just still keep doing the same work that you're doing, but now you're standing. So see what I mean? It's like, yes, something changed, but it wasn't like you quit your job or said you can't do it, or I have to be working. Now I need to be a blah, blah, blah. Like I need to be a tree cutter downer because if I'm doing that, then at least I'm looking up and I'm not looking down a desk. That's crazy. Like, no, you actually just need to change something about what you're doing, right? That's what's meaningful. And so that's my coffee talk message for today. If you want things to change, you're going to have to change something. Identify what it is and start working on it one little bit at a time. And then you'll see a different result. And if you need help, that's what I love to do. So reach out to me. I will help you figure out what needs to be changed. We can talk it through and then you can run with it and go do it. Or if you want help, I can help you. Either one, totally fine. So thanks for plugging into Coffee Talk. Don't forget to sign up for the reset and do that with me. If you haven't done so, subscribe to Fit Me Coffee Talk on your favorite podcast platform. If you're not a part of our Facebook group yet, go to Facebook, search Fit Me Community, request to join the group. I will add you. That's where all the reset action is happening. Great stuff is going to be there every single month. Free programs, games, and challenges that you can participate in to help you live a healthier lifestyle, because we're on a mission to help 100,000 women access a fit and healthy lifestyle through community and coaching and belonging. So if you want to be a part of that in any way, that's the place for you. Talk to you later. Bye.